What's something only kids who grew up poor understand? When I was in 3rd grade, our teacher announced we'd be going on a field trip to the Science Museum. The whole room lit up. Kids started buzzing about what they'd see, what snacks they'd bring, who they'd sit next to on the bus. Everyone was excited, except me, because I knew what field trips meant. Permission slips with price tags. This one was $15. That might not sound like much, but in our house, that was grocery money. I didn't even need to ask my mom. I already knew we couldn't afford it. Still, I brought the form home. That's what you did. I handed it to her without a word and went to my room. Later that night, I found her at the kitchen table, just staring at the permission slip like it was a bill she couldn't pay. She was surrounded by unopened mail, late fees, collection notices, pink envelopes. She wasn't panicking, just quiet, doing the math in her head. After a long silence, she looked up and said, "I'll figure it out, baby." I knew what that meant. It meant skipping meals, walking to work instead of taking the bus, buying the off-brand cereal instead of the kind we liked. Figure it out always meant something quiet and selfless. The next day, our teacher, Ms. Wilson, asked who still hadn't turned in their slips. I raised my hand, along with 2 other kids. She sighed and said we'd need to stay after class. When the bell rang and everyone else left, she asked the first 2 kids why they hadn't brought theirs. They mumbled something about forgetting. Then she turned to me. I swallowed hard. "My mom doesn't have the money right now," I whispered. Her face softened. The teacher mask dropped for a second, and she just looked like someone who understood. She didn't say much, just nodded and thanked me for being honest. Then she walked the other 2 out into the hallway. When she came back, she handed me a sealed envelope. "Give this to your mom," she said gently. That night, my mom opened it at the same kitchen table. Inside was a short typed note. "Congratulations. Your child has won a spot on our field trip through a random classroom drawing. No payment is needed. We're so excited to have them join us." There was no drawing. My mom knew it, I knew it, but she stared at that note like it was sacred. She didn't say much, just wiped her eyes and quietly wrote a thank you card. I tucked it in my backpack the next morning. I went on that trip, rode the bus, ate lunch with my friends, walked through the exhibits, watched a science show, laughed out loud. I pretended not to know what that envelope really was. Years later, when I became a teacher myself, I learned the full story. Ms. Wilson had been covering field trip costs out of her own pocket for years. Dozens of random winners, always 1 or 2 each trip, never announced, never acknowledged. Not even the principal knew. She just did it because she remembered what it felt like to be the kid who couldn't go. Now, I keep an envelope in my desk labeled Field Trip Fund. It's just a few bills here and there, a $20 when I can spare it, sometimes more. I don't tell anyone, but it's there, quietly waiting. So one of my kids never has to raise their hand and say, "I forgot," when what they really mean is, we can't. Because if you grew up poor, you know, the hardest part isn't missing the trip, it's having to explain why.